Let's begin. Over to Srinanda. Srinanda, please.
Okay, sir. Am I audible?
Yeah, audible.
Good morning, all. A warm welcome to one and all present here to make this session a wonderful one. Today, we all gathered here for Lab 27th session of Language Acquisition Program with the topic of ROVE, Retention of Vocabulary Ensured by EGA Association. Let me introduce myself. I am Srinanda N from GVHSS Paioli, studying in 8th D. I am very proud to be a part of this session. I thank English Graduate Association for giving me such an opportunity. God's blessing is very important to make a session wonderful. So let us start the session with prayer. I invite Fatima S from Government MGHSS Stadiamangalam for prayer. Fatima, please.
They shall be showers deep from shall be around the they shall be showers of love.
ഹലോ ഗുഡ് മോർണിംഗ്. എന്താണ് പരിപാടി? ബ്രേക്ക്ഫാസ്റ്റ് കഴിഞ്ഞിരിക്കും. ഞാൻ കഴിഞ്ഞില്ല, ക്ലാസ്സിലാണ്.
Srinanda, carry on.
Thank you, Fatima. I like to call upon Garginanda from GHSS
സമയം
Tevanur for
സമയം
welcome
സമയമില്ലല്ലോ,
speech.
ഞാൻ ക്ലാസ്സിൽ
Gargi, please.
9 തൊട്ട് 11 വരെ ക്ലാസ് അല്ലേ.
Good
ക്ലാസ്
morning to one and
കഴിഞ്ഞായിരുന്നു.
all. I'm Gargi. Today, this is the 27th program of the Lab series from English Graduates Association
പിന്നെ
with the title ROVE, Retention
ആ
of
ഓ
Vocabulary
നാളെ
Ensured.
ക്ലാസ് തുടങ്ങുവാണല്ലേ എല്ലാവർക്കും അല്ലേ?
First, I would like to congratulate the English Graduates Association for taking such an initiative because the lab session have been very useful for
അതിന് വലിയ
children to
കുഴപ്പമില്ലാന്നൊക്കെ
enrich their
പറയുന്നുണ്ട്.
language, vocabulary, and communication skills. It also helped a lot in improving our creative
ആ
thinking.
കോട്ടയം കൊണ്ടൊക്കെ.
I feel very privileged to be a part of this remarkable program. Now, let me move to my duty. I'm much delighted to offer a hearty welcome to everyone who gathered here. So, first, I would like to welcome our guest, Dr. Arun Lalsar, a versatile genius who is renowned as author, translator, and speaker. He currently works as an assistant professor at the
പിന്നെ
Department of
ഇന്നെന്താ
English in
പ്രോഗ്രാം?
Government College,
പള്ളി പോയോ?
Mugeri. He has worked for the
പുറത്തുനിന്നല്ലേ
International
ഇന്ന്
Shakespeare
പരിപാടി?
Desk Project on localizing Shakespeare. He has written and published widely on issues
അല്ല,
concerning
രാത്രി ഉറങ്ങിയ
culture,
വീടിന്റെ ഉറക്കല്ലേ?
philosophy, and literature. His book is COVID Narrative Politics of New Normal.
രാവിലെ
He has
ഉറങ്ങിയോ?
currently four books to his
പഠിക്കാനൊന്നുമില്ലേ?
credit,
പോയി
including
പഠിക്കുക, എഴുതാനും
translations.
വായിക്കാനൊക്കെ ഉണ്ട്.
With much
ക്ലാസ്സിൽ.
honor and respect, I welcome you to this program, sir.
Thank you, thank you. Carry.
Next, I cordially invite our resource person, Sureshkumar sir, a veteran faculty who is retired as HST from Higher Secondary Education Department. I hope this program will be a spectacular one for us. A hearty welcome to you, sir.
തൊട്ട് സിസ് അത്ര പെട്ടെന്നൊന്നും ആർക്കും പറയാം, നല്ല ബുദ്ധിയാണ് എന്നെ പോലെ.
Now it's my pleasure to welcome our Narayanan sir, who presides over this function. He's the man who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way. Sir, welcome to our program.
അത് ഫാക്സ് ആണ്, ഫാക്സ്
Thank
വെച്ച്
you.
Next,
നമുക്ക് അത്രയും.
thank you, sir. Next, let me invite our anchor Srinanta from GVHSS Payoli and Fatima from GMGHSS Chademangalam, who sang the prayer. and Nivet S. Kumar from AUPS Udinur, who is going to deliver the vote of thanks today. And finally and gladly, I welcome all the students and parents to this program. Once again, I welcome everyone and have a wonderful day. Thank you.
വർക്ക് ചെയ്താൽ മാർക്ക് കിട്ടും.
Thank you, Gargi. I would like to invite Varian Continue.
നോട്ടല്ലോ അല്ല ഇവിടെ ബ്രേക്ക് ആവുന്നുണ്ട് നെറ്റ് എൻ്റെ പ്രോബ്ലം ആണോ മൊത്തത്തിൽ പ്രോബ്ലം ആണോ
Srinanda, Srinanda, are you there?
Uh-huh.
Your mic is mute. Okay, respected ones and dears, a very warm good morning to one and all present here. Today we have reached the 27th episode of our language acquisition program by English by English Graduates Association. Today, let me congratulate the anchor Srinanda, the girl who has done the prayer, Fatima, the girl who has welcomed the gathering, Gargi Nanda, and the boy who is going to deliver the word of thanks, Nived S. Kumar. Actually, today we have got an eminent person for the inauguration and a great person for performing the program as RP. And I have some announcements. That is this 30th episode of our lab will be celebrated as every fifth we celebrate, and 31st also we will celebrate because it falls on November 14th, which is also Children's Day. So the pupils will be handling the
തങ്കപ്പന്റെ
session.
വർക്ക്ഷോപ്പിന്റെ അപ്പുറത്ത്
The pupils here who are interested can contact. Okay, nothing more to say. All the best for the program. Thank you. Srinanda. I think something is wrong with the Srinanda. Let me invite our chief guest Arun Lal sir for inaugurating this program. Sir, please.
Thank you, Narayan sir. And uh, I've not been to your program before, but you've given me a detailed mail indicating the programs that you have conducted in the earlier weeks. I see that it is a very commendable effort, coming together, putting together all these students, coming together for discussing various aspects that will help these students improve their efficiency in English communication. That's a very commendable effort. We won't see, we doesn't, I mean, we don't see that kind of an effort put together even at the graduate level. I mean, if you look at the college education, even there you won't find this kind of a concerted effort aiming at focusing on developing English communication skills of the students. Now, how important is English communication skills is a major question that we have been asking for a long time. And but we have as many answers for that question. Definitely, we know. I mean, in the kind of multilingual environment that we live in, the nation that we live in is a multilingual nation. It's not like US. It's not like China. It's not like Russia. You can't get away with one language here. And all of us are by default. Yeah, Srinanda is back, I guess. What happened, Srinanda? You went offline.
Sorry, sir, it's a range problem.
It's okay. It's not your problem, right? Rain problems happen. Even I can go offline. I mean, it's not about my willingness. It's about the providence of the tower, as they call it. Well, if
Yes,
the
when I
tower is merciful enough, if the tower is merciful enough, if the service provider is good enough, we stay online, we talk. Otherwise, we go cut. And that's what the new normal has done to us. New normal that we are all living in. This kind of a platform, online platform, would not be possible, even imagined, a few years back when connectivity was not so rampant, when people were not connected online like this, when the mobile networks were not as strong as this. A few years back, of course, this kind of a coming together is, it looks like a fiction. Now, we have only we've become very used to this kind of a meeting now. Almost all official meetings are done offline, online now. Like people from Trivandrum can talk to people in like Kasargod, without traveling. Usually, the Trivandrum people insisted on we people from Malabar traveling down to Trivandrum and having a meeting with them. But now such compulsions are not there. Now they have become accustomed to online meetings, and sending you a Google Meet link would be enough. They have also uh, tuned up to this kind of a vibe. And classrooms have been revolutionized. I mean, the classroom experience that we know, I mean, as students and as teachers who have been teaching for like more than 10 years, 10, 20 years, definitely. So people who've been teaching for a long time, people who have sat in rooms for a long time, we have experienced classrooms in a very different modality. A classroom is a place, it's a physical space where a person would walk in and, you look eye to eye with that person, receive not just the words and not just the image. I mean, now you're receiving my image, right? But this isn't me. The person who would walk into your class is a totally different person. The person who would talk to you physically is a totally different person. Now I'm talking to the screen and I imagine that, you're getting the communication that I'm delivering here. So this is a hypothetical communication environment. No, as I mean, as Srinanda would say, I mean, if the connectivity goes pop, I'm out of this circle. This is an illusion, as we call this is virtual reality. We are trying to interact in virtual reality. This isn't reality. This is a virtual version of reality. Classrooms were real. The one fine thing, one good thing about physical classroom was it is real, and in real time interaction, you talk to somebody, you can touch them. Definitely, you can see them moving around. That is not our idea of classroom anymore. We have become accustomed to something called blended learning. Blended learning in the sense like you can have offline classrooms, but along with offline classrooms, you should also run online classes. That's what the government says now. So like, we are not entirely offline. We are not entirely online either. So we've been practicing blended learning for a while now, and this I guess is going to be the norm for another few more years, and these special classes etc will definitely be online now on, because the students have been learning for the past 2 years. They've been learning in the online mode, and we have also been teaching in the online mode. There is nothing that should basically ask you to take away this mode and completely shift to the physical. This will become a parallel stream in which teaching will continue. Anyways, that is beside the point. Your endeavor, your enterprise in bringing together these kids, and definitely teachers, resource persons, and talking to them about various aspects, giving them insights regarding various aspects of English communication, English learning. This has been very commendable. And I have gone through the chart that you have sent, the programs that you have conducted. They are very impressive. And there is a concept that I really admire. There is a tendency to concentrate on the target. That's absolutely impressive. The way you have coordinated all these things. Even today's session, it's like retention of vocabulary and so. So vocabulary, I guess, is the focus of the session. Suresh is soon going to engage you with his insights regarding retentions of vocabulary. So I'm not going into the that field. I mean, I'll leave it entirely to Suresh's intelligence and craft and genius. But anyways, like vocabulary is such an important part of English communication, or not just English communication. Vocabulary is a part of the absorption, acquisition of any language. Without words, what do we do? Words are like the constituent, the basic constituent, the fundamental constituents of a language is nothing but words. So if you do not have a word stock, you're not going to get away with it. If you really have to deal with language, if you really have to use language in the best possible manner, you need to have a functional vocabulary. It's not like we don't have vocabulary. We all have a functional vocabulary. But this vocabulary needs to be constantly, as the title goes, you need to ensure the retention of the vocabulary that you have acquired. You study a word, but it's very possible that you will forget the word in a few days after studying it. Because if you're not using something every day or even once in a while, human memory tends to forget it. We dump it in the backyard of our memory if we don't use it. So it becomes necessary, it becomes essential that we practice retention of vocabulary, which I guess is the focus of the session that Suresh is going to give you. So how to retain words that you're studying. There's a scientific study that says only 30% of your vocabulary is active, 70% is dormant. This theory comes in one of the famous vocabulary trainers manual, namely Norman Lewis Wordpa. In the introduction to that book, the first edition of Norman Lewis's vocabulary, he gives you this survey result where 30% of what you acquire. I mean, if you study 100 words, 30 words would be there for your use. 70 words would be dormant. It's not like it's forgotten. It will be there with you, but it'll be dormant. Until somebody pokes it out of your brain, until somebody starts digging into your brain for those words, you will definitely not use those words. So this is how things will basically be. 30% of what you learn, as 30% of the words that you learn will stay with you. 70% of the words that you will learn will go to a dormant section of your hypothalamus, a dormant section of your memory. What is the dormant section? Dormant section is, yeah, it is there, but it is inactive. You don't activate it. So Norman Lewis says, even if you like take a leap and make like 10%, instead of 30, if you can use 40% of what you learn, then you are a very good expert. You're like an expert in vocabulary usage. So this is what Norman Lewis says. So that perhaps should be your aim when you're learning a new word. And learning a new word itself is a difficult regime. It's a difficult training regime. We people, like 4 years or 5 years when we were like little kids, when we were very, very small, very little kids, the amount of learning that we do over a week or a month or a year was enormous. Like in the school, we have learned thousands and thousands of words. As we grew up, the number of words that we will learn, the number of new words that we will learn, that number basically came down. We don't learn that many words anymore. In college, how many new words would you learn? But people who read a lot, they may come across a few new words, but compared to the amount of words that you have learned as a child, that the graduate level vocabulary learning is negligible. It's a negligible amount of words that you learn as a graduate. So my point is, as we grow up, our curiosity towards words basically become lesser and lesser. Especially people who have, no reading habits, no healthy reading habits. The curiosity towards words basically lessen, and that must be taken as an indicator. That must be taken as a pointer towards the cultural laxity of a community or a people. If your attentiveness towards language comes down, if you're not focused on language, if language falls down in your priority list, that means as a cultural being, something has suffered inside you. Your participation in culture as a whole, and culture includes a lot of things, right? Culture is what makes human being a human being. We're different from animals because we have culture, because we concentrate on culture, because we concentrate on passing culture from one generation to another. That is what makes us human beings. So, if you have a relaxed attitude towards culture, if you have a low priority index marked for language, then basically your cultural self suffers a loss. And that is precisely what we shouldn't, suffer from. That is something that we shouldn't be towards. That is something that we should basically insulate ourselves from. We should not be relaxed towards, you know, our cultural self. Our cultural self must be our focus. What makes us humans, what keeps us humans, that is something that we should treasure. The self that we own, the self, the cultural self that we own, that is something that we have to treasure. We have to praise it. We have to kind of appreciate how culture has shaped our morals, our ethics, our sense of ethics, all those things that basically make us human. The values that we have learned, the ethics that we have trained ourselves in, the morality that we stick to, all those things are part of culture, right? So your attentiveness to culture, the first indicator to your attentiveness towards culture is your attentiveness towards language. One of the major problems that the world is facing now is not illiteracy, it is alliteracy. Earlier, we used to talk about literacy and illiteracy. Literate people, illiterate people. Literate people are people who know how to read and write. Illiterate people are people who do not know how to read and write. Kerala is supposed to be a state that has 100% literacy rate. So literate people, people who know how to read and write. But in the past 2 decades, another whole body of people have come up. We call them alliterate people. Alliterate people are not illiterate. They know how to read and write, but they choose not to read or write. It's like you give them a book, you give them a mobile phone. They would basically want to play a game on the mobile phone rather than reading the book. Book reading is an option that they will not take up. It's not like they do not know the letters. They know the letters, but they're as good as illiterates because they're not reading. They're not going to read. Even if you force them, they will not read. You lock them up in a library, they'll sit down and sulk, they're not going to read. So a person who doesn't choose to read, he or she is called an alliterate person. And the number of alliterate people are growing up. The problem with an alliterate body of people, the problem with an alliterate community is that, well, the thing that I was talking about earlier, this focus on culture, this will basically dwindle. There will be no focus on culture anymore. The alliterate person is not interested in cultural, sophistications or nuances. The alliterate person, well, most probably the illiterate person is a visual person. Visual person in the sense like somebody who is fixated on visual culture, either video games or mobile games or internet bits or something like that. So in such a world, literature is basically taking a step forward. Literature is suffering a setback. Teaching literature itself has become a difficulty. Even for us, people who are teaching in colleges, we find it very difficult to transact literature in the classroom because the students are not reading literature. They're not interested in reading literature. At the same time, if we are talking about movies, if we are talking about television series, if we are talking about cartoons, if we are talking about, say, internet viral celebrities, then the students are interested. The general interest, the general enthusiasm towards literature has died. And it becomes the responsibility of students like this who willingly assemble and appreciate nuances of language learning. It becomes squarely on you. You are like the saviors of the world. You're going to save the culture for us. If the next generation, if the generation that is to come after you, if they have to have some notion of what is cultural integrity, it is you who are going to give that to them. So coming together as a group to appreciate nuances of language, coming together as a group to learn nuances of language, this is a this is a service that you do to the cultural body that we are all inherited. That we have all inherited. We are all here to a grand cultural body, right? A cultural legacy. So you people will be taking this legacy to the future, and that is your destiny. Yeah. In a nutshell, you are fashioning your destiny in this in this group activity, and I wish you all the success. And without further ado, without further delay, let me declare that this session is inaugurated. Okay, and as I said, participate in the sessions, keep up this particular company, associate yourself more in the name of this particular group, and next lab, the other lab. May this enterprise find new skies of glory in the coming months and years. And with that, I declare this thing inaugurated, and I thank all of you for thinking me as an apt person to come and talk to you to inaugurate this function. Thank you, Narayan sir. Thank you, Suresh, for inviting me to this. I'll hand this session over to whoever is conducting. Srinanda, are you online?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you want to carry this again, or should I transfer it to Gargi, or what I can answer?
I think Srinanda will carry on. Srinanda,
She,
please.
I think there is some connectivity issues at her quarter.
Srinanda, are you okay? Still you have problem?
I'm okay, but sir, I can't open the camera.
Or doesn't matter. Your voice is enough.
Okay, sir.
Okay, then you carry on. I mean, carry on with the program. The sessions will be beginning soon, right? Suresh, are you ready for the sessions?
Okay,
Then
Thank you, sir.
take on.
Thank you
Yeah,
for
yeah.
valuable. Thank you for your valuable words. Now it's a time to start. I wish the session would be a great one with so many information and fun. Let us know more things and enjoy the session. I would like to invite our resource person, Mr. Sureshkumar sir, presently working as higher secondary school teacher at Srinarayana Higher Secondary School, Vadakara. With a quick session, I invite Mr. Sureshkumar sir for handling this session. Sir, please.
thank you, Srinanda.
Okay, Suresh, I'll kind of take over the session.
Okay. Yeah.
Narayan sir, take care.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Okay, Naranja, shall I begin?
Yes, sir. Please.
Okay, dears. I'm so much indebted to my friend Narayan sir for having given me a wonderful opportunity to interact with the amazing guys over here. So, top of the morning to all. Today, I'm dealing with vocabulary, its building and retention techniques. Okay, so once again, I invite the attention of all the people who are here on this platform today. Dear students, how are you? Hope you are alive and kicking. How are you, dears?
Doing good this morning, sir.
Hello, how are you? How are you all?
Doing good, sir. I'm doing good.
Okay, thank you. So let me begin with the pronunciation of this word. Okay, do you know how to pronounce this word? Vocabulary. Okay, can you see it right now? Can you see it on the screen?
Vocabulary.
Okay, this is how you must read this word. Vocabulary. Vocabulary. You try to read it. Wow. The first part is wow or word. Okay, that's why it is put in a bracket. It is when you speak faster, you can pronounce it with word only, not wow. So vocabulary. The stress should be on the second syllable. Okay, vocabulary or vocabulary. Some of you please try to read this word, pronounce this word. Try.
So can I?
Vocabulary.
Vocabulary. Okay.
Vocabulary.
Okay. Vocabulary.
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 Vocabulary. Okay, vocabulary or vocabulary. Okay.
Vocabulary.
Okay, that's good. Now, let me ask you some questions. Okay, two questions before I begin with this. You have to guess the correct word, the right word. Okay. Yeah, here comes your question. Okay. Can you see it right now? Can you see it?
Yes, sir. We can
Yeah, it is presented right now. Can you read it? She couldn't with my situation because she had never been in my shoes.
empathize.
She couldn't with my situation because she had never been in my shoes. In my shoes means she had never experienced the kind of experience I had. Okay, so two options are given here: sympathize and empathize. Which is the correct word?
So,
Pardon?
empathize.
Sympathize or empathize?
Empathize.
Emphasize.
What about the others? Sympathy is a
Empathize.
familiar word. You see, it's a familiar word. Sympathy and empathy. To show sympathy, that is sympathize, and empathize. So, which is the correct one? A or B? A confusing word, right? Sympathy means,
Sir, it's A.
I'll tell you, okay, don't worry, okay, don't worry.
A.
Sympathy means to show kindness to somebody. Okay, you understand the problem of the others, but empathy means you recognize their problems and you identify their situation with yours. You become one with the other person. The problem of another person is yours also. Okay. Here the clue is she had never been in my shoes. That means she had no such experience in her life. So can she empathize without having experienced such problems? No. So the correct option is empathize. Okay. Okay, don't worry. One more question I would like to ask you. Okay, here comes it. What are the meaning of the word in italics? The word is given in italics. Technology has exacerbated the digital divide in our country. Technology has exacerbated the digital divide in our country, minimized, encouraged, worsened, eradicated.
Eradicated.
Okay, any other options? You can guess. If you don't know, you can make a wild guess.
Sir, I think it's worsened.
Worsened, okay, then any other option?
So worsened.
Worsened.
So worsened.
So worsened.
Okay, let us see. So, the correct meaning of
Worsen.
exacerbate means to Worsen. Okay, thank you, all those who have said the correct answer. Okay, so technology has worsened the digital divide in our country because of the technological advancement in our country. The digital divide, the difference in people having these kinds of gadgets and all, and other persons are depriving the people, those who don't have all those, they cannot enjoy those developments. So it has worsened. Okay, so that's a correct answer. Okay, now let's come back. Uh, Now let's deal with the definition of vocabulary. Can anyone say what do you mean by vocabulary? What exactly is the meaning of a definition of vocabulary? Or what you mean by vocabulary? Say whatever you know. Okay?
I think that is how many words of a language you know.
Okay, good. Very good.
Yeah, word.
Different definitions are there. All the words a language has got. That is vocabulary. Okay. Can you say another word for it?
A
Another word?
vocabulary is a set of familiar words within a person's language. A vocabulary usually developed with age.
Okay, you need to say that the first part is okay enough. Okay, it is the collection of
As
words
a
or a group of words that are known and used by a particular person. Okay, who has said this answer? Who has said this? Who has said the answer right now? Please tell me your name. Hello? Who has given me the definition of vocabulary right now? Please tell me your name.
Abarna Rajesh.
Aparna Rajesh, okay, very nice. Your Aparna's vocabulary may be different from Srinanda's vocabulary. So individual difference is there according to, because of different exposure you have. Okay, so it's a collection of vocabulary, is the collection of words that are known and used by a particular person. It's also called word stock, the stock of words. Okay, the fund of words, or lexis and lexicon. You must have heard this word lexicon, right?
Yes, sir.
And yeah, its vocabulary is the integral part of the process of reading comprehension. If you want to comprehend what you read, you must have a good fund of vocabulary. Okay, and this vocabulary refers to words that are needed for communicating effectively. Okay, have you understood?
Understood, sir.
Okay, thank you. Now let's go to the importance of vocabulary. Can you tell me what are the importance of vocabulary? Having a very good vocabulary. What is the importance of it?
If you don't know the proper words to use in a certain conversation or certain situation to convey a message, then you would fail at it.
Sir,
Yeah, very good, Arun, Deepak Arun.
sir,
You will fail. You would fail desperately, right?
Yeah,
sir,
Okay,
you'll be desperate too easily.
exactly correct. Okay, and
sir.
who is yeah, Gagi.
Sir, I think to improve in all areas of life, we want vocabulary. And for listening, speaking, reading, and writing, the vocabulary is essential.
Okay, exactly correct. That means communication and expression for communicating and expressing our ideas. to the world. Vocabulary is needed. And it's applicable in all areas of communication, as you have said, Gaki, in LSRW. L stands for L. L stands for
listening,
listening. S,
speaking,
speaking. R,
Reading,
reading,
reading. And the last one, W,
writing.
writing,
writing. Okay, very nice. By the way, how do you pronounce the letter W? It is not a W, but W.
Isn't it W?
Yeah,
W.
In American English, they say W, but we follow BBC English RT, received pronunciation. Okay, so I agree that there is a great influence of American English even among the British people. Okay, so it should be W, okay, but we write W, isn't it? It's weird, okay? We write W for W and we say W. Okay. Next, anything else? This is an interactive session, so all of you are welcome with your ideas.
So,
Hmm.
one more point, that is to grasp ideas and to think more logically. I think the vocabulary is essential.
Okay, sure. Okay. Then, any other any other advantages of having very good vocabulary?
So that W thing that you actually mentioned, I was really confused with that letter because we write it as double V and we read it as
Yeah,
W.
W. Yeah.
That kept me awake for some time. Whenever I think about it, why do we write it as double V and read it as W?
Yeah. And when you pronounce it will, it is will sound and not will sound. Will means it is the sound of the letter V. Very good, like a V. Okay, this the pronunciation is will. You should bring your lips forward. Okay, will. What? Why? Like that. Okay. Now let's go back. Any other? It is having good vocabulary is a basis of reading comprehension, as I told you. In order to read, and comprehend, that means to understand what you read, you must need a very good basis of vocabulary. Okay. Next advantage is to navigate social environments. So when you move from one environment to another, the vocabulary may change because of the difference in the style, lifestyle, or culture. Different vocabularies may be used. In order to understand all this, you must have a wide range of vocabulary. Do you agree with me? For example,
Yeah.
after your plus 2 course, you go to college. Okay, and the vocabulary used by the professors, lecturers there, um, may be different. Okay, they may use high-sounding words. Okay, they may use a lot of phrases and phrasal verbs and idioms in their communication, so you wouldn't be able to understand them. And if you go to some foreign country, you will gasp before them, and you may not be able to understand what they are talking about. Okay, so you should have when you navigate and move from place to place. This very good vocabulary it must be there. Okay, you must have very good vocabulary, and then another important point is to switch registers. What do you mean by register? Register is not a book we keep in order to enter something. It's not the register I mean. By
It's
register, I mean is the variety of language you use. The variety of language you use in different situations. Okay, that's the register. For example, when you're talking to your friends, you may use certain kind of words that are entirely different from the words you speak to your parents or your teachers. Am I right? That is
yeah,
register, switching register, changing the register. You cannot talk to your teacher just as you talk to your friend, your buddies. Okay. And another example is when you talk to a doctor, and the words related to the doctors or treatment may be different. For example, I want to see a doctor. I cannot say I want to see a doctor, and he looks at me or looks me and or looks at me, and he gave me some medicine. He wrote some medicines and gave me some. Can you say use all these words? That's called a register. See, for seeing a doctor is there's a particular word for it. It's called terminology. Terminology. You know, specific words are there for different domains. What word is used there for seeing a doctor if you have some difficulties or diseases? What word is used there?
Consult.
consult.
Yeah, consult a doctor. And what does the doctor do? He uh, looks at you, but in Malayalam we say, Doctorane noki. It's not mere looking. It is
Okay.
examining, okay? He examined me and he gave me some medicines. It's not giving. The doctor, what is it? He prescribes.
Prescribes.
Medicine, okay? Medicine. The pronunciation of that word is not a medicine. It is not wrong, but the native speakers, when they speak fast, they use medicine. Okay, medicine. Yeah. So these are some of the importance of vocabulary. Okay. Now let's look at another slide. Okay, that tells us about knowing a word. How should we know a word? Okay, shall we look at that?
Yes, sir. We should take a look at that.
Yeah.
Okay, Grace, can you see it right now? Knowing a word, knowing a word, its form, meaning, and use. Okay, can you see it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is how you should try to know each and every word. First of all, um, yeah, form, meaning, and use. Okay, and you should know the correct pronunciation of the word. Pronunciation, not pronunciation. Some people mistakenly say or they mispronounce the word. As a word, sorry, verb, it is pronounced. What is the spelling? PRO. The spelling of that verb, what is it?
Pro- yeah.
P-R-O-N-O-U-N-C-E, pronounce. But its noun form is pronunciation. Pronunciation, okay. Yeah. You must know the pronunciation of each and every word. And some words you may have learned in the wrong way, and it's very hard to unlearn it. Okay, and when you learn new words, when you get new vocabulary to your fund of vocabulary, you must learn it in the correct way. Do you know phonetic symbols?
Not too well.
Okay, it's very easy. No, that not that much difficult. You can learn it from YouTube. Okay, you go to YouTube and you subscribe to bbclearningenglish.com. There are so many things you can learn on a daily basis. Okay, small videos are there, small videos, and you can learn one or two of them a day. You can master it, okay, and listen to it. Get exposed to their speaking and listen carefully. First of all, you should have listening ability. You should, improve the ability of listening. Then only you can be a very good speaker. Okay, if you are a very good listener only, you can be a very good speaker. Okay, and imitate. Try to imitate those one or two. At least one person. Okay, limit yourself to one person, and you can imitate that person, man or a woman. This technique is called shadowing technique. Shadowing technique. Okay, so you should know the word pronunciation, and the pronunciation of vocabulary we have seen. Okay, so you should pronounce that word vocabulary hereafter in the correct way. Okay, now spelling. The next part is, if you want to know a word correctly in its full sense, you should know the spelling of it, also the orthography of it. It is called orthography. 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 How it is spelled. And you should know the word parts, the prefix and suffix. Have you got any idea about prefix and suffix? What is a prefix? We fix something. Pre means before. Fix, we add a few letters before a word. Can you tell me some examples? Hello?
So I didn't get it.
See, some letters we add before a word, and it becomes another word, or it changes its meaning. For example, conscious, conscious. When we add two letters before it, it becomes the opposite of it. What is it? Conscious. Conscious. Conscious.
Unconscious.
Unconscious.
Okay, that's a prefix. Un is a prefix. Okay, pre means before. Something comes before a word, that is pre, prefix. And what about suffix? The opposite of it. What is it? The word cluster. Oh, sorry, the cluster of letters we add at the end of the word. Example? For example.
Priceless. Could
Okay,
priceless be an example?
yeah, less. What is it? Priceless.
Priceless.
Okay, LESS. That is a suffix we add with the price. Okay, and examine. What prefix can be added to examine?
ATION.
Examination.
Examination. What is it? Examination, examination. You say that word?
Examination.
Exact, exact.
Examination.
You should give a little stress to examination, examination. Okay. Primary
Sir,
stress, primary stress,
examination.
primary stress comes to exam, and secondary stress comes to exam, and the primary stress, the important stress at the nation. Okay. In all the words with the TION combination, the stress comes there. Okay, so it is examination. And next is forms.
Sir,
Forms, singular and okay, singular and plural forms. You must know the singular form, singular of it, and the plural forms of that word, form of that word, and inflections. Inflection is the change that comes to a word, the change. The words may change by adding something. For example, a change in the form of a word to express different grammatical categories. For example, and the change becomes because in the case of gender, some words change according to gender, male or female. Can you say one example? Host, H-O-S-T, host. One who entertains the guest is called host. But for female host, what's the word for it? Feminine gender,
Hostess.
hostess. Hostess. Okay. And then according to the number, for example, leaves. Okay. And tense also. According to different tenses, we make some inflection or change. Inflection is change. So all these things you should learn. Then only you can say you have understood a word in the correct sense. And the word family means different families of words are there. Can you tell me some? What are the word families? Different groups of words. Some words may be describing the nouns. So what kind of words are they? Describing noun or describing words. What are they called?
pronoun. Sir, adjectives.
Adjectives. Okay, and some words describe the action. The action describing some actions. Those words are called
Action.
adverbs. Adverbs.
Adverb.
Describing actions. Okay, that is adverb. So you have to know all these things. Okay, and the next one, the fourth one is word associations and synonyms. Some words may be associated, put together. Can you tell me one example? For example, time, the word time and table. When they are put together, we get
Timetable.
table. In that way, so many such words you should know. And synonyms and antonyms. Synonyms means, what are the synonyms?
Familiar words
Same meaning.
Words with the same meaning. And antonyms means
which have opposite meaning. Opposite words.
opposite words. And next one is denotative and connotative words. Denotation of the word. You should know the denotation of the word. That means the literal meaning of the word. Literal meaning. Okay. And the real meaning of the word. And the connotation means the meaning of certain word change in different contexts. That is called connotative. Called polysemy. Okay. You needn't to remember these technical words and all. Okay, but you should know what is denotative and the connotative. Only CD you needn't remember. For example, let me tell you, you somebody says, not to you, okay, to some other person, that you are a dog. You are a dog. The literal meaning is you are a dog. Can it be? Can it happen? No. So that's a literal meaning. But what's a connotative meaning? Can anyone say? You are a dog. What does that mean?
You want to protect or
No.
You're like a dog, that means.
You are
Acting like
like
him.
you are like a dog in appearance.
such cute.
No, no, no. Uh, you are not. The literal meaning is you are a canine. Canine means a real dog. We call that group of frogs as canine family. You must have heard. But the connotative meaning is you are a dog means you are a not attractive, unattractive, okay, or something like that. You create a lot of problems to the others like this. That is a connotative meaning. Now, the next one is grammatical function or parts of speech. Do you have any idea about the parts of speech? You should know all these things. These things or items are very important. You should know when you try to know a word. You should know what type of word it is. What is a part of that word? Parts of speech means each word has to play its own role, or it has its own function. That is part of speech. For example, in English language there are 10 parts of speech. Do you know all those 10 parts of speech?
Noun, pronoun,
Okay, good.
verb,
First, let's begin. But if you don't know, you can write it down. Okay, parts of speech. How many? How many
tense,
parts of 10? Okay. The first one is article. Article. What are the articles?
a and the.
A and the. Okay, a and an are indefinite, article, and the definite article is the, because we say about some particular things. A or an can be anybody. A man means any man. The man means a particular man we are going to tell about, mention. And the next one is, second one, noun, as you have said. Another part of speech is noun. So you should know whether the new word you are learning belongs to a noun or a pronoun, an adjective, like that. Okay. So the second part of speech is noun, and the third one is the word that stands for the noun, that represents a noun, that is pronoun. Okay, and the number four is the words used for describing a noun, that is adjective. Adjective. And number five, fifth part of speech is numeral. What is numeral? Numeral is a word that denotes number. A word that denotes number. For example, this program is the 27th language acquisition program, 27th. Am I right? Hello?
It's okay, sir.
Yeah, 27th. That 27 stands for that number. So it is called a numeral. Okay. And
Numeral.
by the way, do you know how to ask about this in English? In Malayalam we ask എത്രാമത്തെ പ്രോഗ്രാമാണ് ഇത്, എത്രാമത്തെ ലാപ്പാണ് ഇത്. How can you ask this in English? Can anyone say?
What lab program is this? Or which lab program?
It's not.
What is the
I
chronological
don't
order
exactly
of
know.
lab program?
That's not Arun. It's not complete. Okay. And then,
Sir, what is the chronological order of lab program?
what is the chronological order of this lab program is not needed because the lab itself is a program, language acquisition program. So that kind of error is called redemption. Redundancy. Okay, for example, PIN number. We see what's a PIN number? Number is not needed. Why? Because PIN itself is postal index number. Okay, and ATM machine. Some of you may say ATM machine. ATM itself is automated teller machine. Such a mistake we make a lot. That's called redundancy. Okay, so then let's come back. What's the chronological order? That sounds very weird. It's too formal. We don't ask such questions. To put it simply, how can you ask? Can anyone say? Can anyone say?
Give me some time. I'll think one up.
Okay,
I'm a bit confused.
okay. Okay.
Sir,
For
did you ask
example,
what is
where
chronological
does
order?
where chronological and ordinal status, these are all high sounding words. You can avoid those. We don't generally ask those, use those words in formal writing only. Okay. So where does this program fall in the sequence of labs? Where does this program fall, or where does today's program fall in the sequence of language acquisition programs? It's a very simple question. Or what is the number of this program in the order of labs? Labs means language acquisition program. So what is the number of this program in the order of language acquisition program? Isn't it very easy? It sounds good, right? Easier, right?
Yeah, a
Yeah.
bit easy, yeah.
So try to remember those. And then next one is collocation. What do you mean by collocation? Have you heard this before?
No.
Yeah,
No, sir.
collocation is,
Series of words.
pardon?
Sir, I think location is a series of words or terms.
Yeah, words, put together always. In certain situations, we combine these two words, and those two words go together to mean a particular meaning, give us a particular meaning. For example, spectacular sight. And a very simple example is you make a mistake, and you commit a suicide. Commit suicide. You cannot say he did a suicide. We don't generally say that. Okay, and you cannot say it's not right to say he committed a mistake. Okay, if it's a very serious mistake only, you can say. General small mistakes, you cannot say he committed a mistake, did a mistake. That's a correct use. Okay, and the spectacular side. When you go for sightseeing, we use this. It was a spectacular side. When you are writing a travelogue of the trip you have made, don't you write this collocation? Haven't you used this collocation before?
Yes, sir.
Spectacular side. And another one is about when we say about the achievement of some people, crowning achievement. And when someone is riding his bike at a very great speed, what do we say? What are the words we use together to denote the speed, high speed of that bike? breathtaking speed. What is it?
Breathtaking.
Breathtaking.
Breathtaking speed. And so when someone gives you a very great, a very clear description of it, a description of something, you can say periscopic description. Okay, periscope, periscope. Okay, periscopic description. And when you want to say about the growth of something, that is exponential growth. Exponential growth in the number of COVID cases in our country. Understood? Exponential, exponential, exponential growth.
Got it,
And,
sir.
and some demand, unprecedented demand is there for masks these days. These pandemic days, we experienced an unprecedented demand of masks. Masks. Okay? And just as we have seen, the increase. Okay, another collocation is astronomical increase. When something is increasing by leaps and bounds, we can say astronomical increase. And another collocation, just meaning the opposite, is precipitous decrease. Okay, something gets, is, something decreases. That is precipitous decrease. All these are collocations. So you should try to learn all these things. When you come across such combinations of words, you should write it in your notebook and try to use it. Okay? When you use it, then only your language will be very beautiful. Okay?
Okay, sir.
Your language will be reach the next level. And the
Okay,
next one
sir.
is register. I told you before, formal and informal verbs. When you talk to your friends or when you speak to a small child, which one will you use here? Formal or informal? Definitely informal.
Informal.
When you talk to your parents or when you talk to your Relatives. How do you pronounce that word? R
Relate.
E Relatives. Ges.
Relative.
Relative.
No, it is relative.
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 Sound should come. Relative.
Yeah, I say it when I talk about the theory of relativity, I say it like that. But whenever I say it as singular, like the relatives came to visit, or he's a relative.
Your relative. And
Instead of saying
another,
that, I used to say like he's a relative. He's a bit relative.
no, it is relative is the correct one. Okay.
So
And a little free sound comes in the end. Relative.
sir, the
And the next
question.
word, that word you have said is relativity. Relativity. Okay. You are
Yeah.
free to ask me any kind of questions. Okay.
When someone is behaving just like me, or say something that is pretty much that I do, then I will say like that's relative. We can relate, or that's relative. Is this correct? To say that word like that in that circumstance, in that situation.
I didn't get you.
Yeah, when somebody does something that is very similar to you do, you say like, yeah, that's very relative.
It's not correct usage, I think. Cannot say like that. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
And next one is yeah, formal and informal. When you talk to your teachers or the headmaster or headmaster is not the correct. It's gender sensitive. Okay, headmaster or headmistress. It's not being able to differentiate men and women like that. The best word is head teacher. What is it? Head teacher. Can be a man or a woman. Okay? Head teacher. Then Principal. What is it? Principal. How do you say that word?
Could you please repeat, sir? I didn't get that.
Principal.
Help.
Principle. Principle.
Principle. Okay, just as the spelling Principle. You study a lot of principles in chemistry, physics, and all. Exactly a principle like that. Okay, it in the same way, same pronunciation for the head of a college or a higher secondary school. Principal, not principal or principal. No, principal. Okay? Okay. When you talk to your principal or head teacher, it should be in formal style or informal style.
Formal
Formal
style.
style. Well, especially,
Formal style.
sometimes you may talk to him in the informal style because of that, intimacy. But when you write a letter, it must be in the formal style. Okay. Now, the last one is, but not the least, is frequency. Frequency means some words, some beautiful words may be there, but they may not be frequently used in the language. So, what's the need of learning all those words? High frequency words you should try to know because it would be used by many people, right? Otherwise, there would be unintelligibility. Okay, unintelligibility will be there. You will not be intelligible to other people. They won't understand you when you use low frequency words, rare words, and some words may be obsolete words, not at all used used at present. They are called obsolete word, just like some extinct animals and birds are there. Okay, yeah. So you should try to know the frequency of the word also. And if you have an idea about all these things, you can say, "Yeah, I know a word in its correct sense." Have you understood?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And next we can move on to, by the way, let me, for time pass, let me show you another thing. Um, can you guess this word? Okay, try to guess the word I'm going to show you. Try to guess it. Some of you may have seen this before. Okay, let's try. Guess what is written in this picture? Something is written in this picture. It's actually a picture, but it is formed by writing something. Can you see it on your screen?
I can see the picture. Or
Uh, can you identify a
Sorry, sir.
word from this? Hmm?
Liar.
You must have seen this before, right? Okay, it's very difficult because when I say picture, you may be, yeah, your first attention will fall to that picture. Picture of what? What is this a picture of? It's a picture of
Man.
a man.
a young man or an old one.
A middle-aged man.
Oh, wearing what? Wearing glasses or spectacles. Okay. So L-I, have you, what about the others? Have you identified the word liar? You just look at this point of that mouse. Here comes L. It comes like this. L-I-A-R. Can you see the movement of the cursor now? Are you able
Yes.
to Are you able to see the movement of the cursor of the mouse?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Yeah, we can see the
Now
cursor.
check it once again by tilting your head a little to the right side. Here it starts. Okay. L comes up to this. Okay. Now I look at tickle. This dot is called, what is it called? Tickle. Okay. I and A and R like this. That's the word alive. So congratulations to that student, that girl. Who said that answer? Who said the correct answer?
Sir Neeraja.
Excuse me, what's going on? Where's Riapi?
Suresh sir, is there anything wrong?
Where is the RP?
I think something is wrong with this connectivity. It's 10:22. Shall we go for the pupils' feedbacks?
No, sir, came back.
Hello?
Yes, sir. What happened?
Hello? Yeah, yeah, I got disconnected. Okay, now it's okay.
Okay, sir. Carry on,
So,
please.
okay. 1 minute, 1 minute.
Okay, sir. Carry on.
Mhm.
Where's the RP?
Okay, dears. Now I'm going to show you how to remember a vocabulary. That's the main part of our today's class. So, can you see it? Yes?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Yes, sir.
So, how to remember vocabulary? It's an authentic method. Okay, you can believe if you follow this method, these steps, nine, steps, you can remember any kind of vocabulary. Okay, so let's look at the first one point: curiosity. Curiosity behind learning new vocabulary is very much important. Okay, you must be very curious. And little kids between the ages of 4 and 10, they learn between these two ages, between the age of 4 years and 10 years, the little children, kids, learn thousands of words. Okay, they learn these words from their parents. They know they and they use those words too. And we can say their brains are plastic brain. They have plastic brain. That means not made of plastic, but it day by day grows. It grows. Okay, their brain grows, and curiosity for learning will be there in them. High level of curiosity the children have. And when you become, or when you reach the age of 18 years, this gets diminished. Your hunger becomes lessened. Okay? Your hunger for learning something new comes down and down. That's why you are not able to retain or keep in memory the words you learn. Okay, so the first and the foremost factor is curiosity. You should keep your curiosity, okay, unextinguished. Okay, are you curious to learn new words, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Looking
Yes.
forward to.
Yes,
Yeah, yeah.
sir.
Till you become 6 feet under, you should keep it up. Okay. What do you mean by 6 feet under? Can you guess? Till you become 6 feet under.
Till you get to the height of about 6 feet, perhaps.
No, 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 no. You can imagine. That's an
When we die.
idiomatic use. Yeah, very good. See, whatever great person you are
Six
in your
feet.
life, okay, what you may be a rich person, or a very famous, world famous figure, or you may be a destitute, or you may you may not have even a home of your own. Okay, but when you die, when both of you die, you need 6 feet of earth to get bury you. Okay? Irrespective of your caste, color, creed, status in the society, both of you, a poor man and a rich man, need the same, amount of earth, space of earth, that is 6 feet generally we call. Already manna. Okay? So you should keep your curiosity till you kick the bucket, or till you join the majority, or till you become 6 feet under. All this mean when you die. Okay? Will you do it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now the next one is uh, teach the word. When you come across a word, and if you want to remember it for all times come, you should teach it. This is applicable to your lessons only. The lessons you study in your classes, if you find it some difficult to grasp or comprehend, you learn it fresh and you will teach it to your friend. Understood? Then you will understand it more clearly. Okay, so teach the word. And for doing this, at first you have to understand it. Just I have said earlier, you should try to know a word, all those aspects of the word, and then you should explain it. When you explain something 1 or 2 times, it will be registered in your mind forever. Okay, it will be your active vocabulary. Otherwise, it may slip into the passive vocabulary. Understood? Okay. And the next one is preference. Preference. What do you mean by this? Preference means there shouldn't be any compulsion to learn the words. Okay? Don't expect perfection also. When you say something, don't say that, I should use it in the perfect way. If I make any mistakes, what do the people think about me? So don't be a perfectionist. It's not good. in everything. Don't be a perfectionist. You try to do uh, okay in the best way you can. So many mistakes may be there, but when you make repeatedly make mistakes, you can avoid it. Then you can come to perfection. Okay, so give preference, don't pressurize. Okay, have you understood the point?
Yeah.
Yes. And next one is imagine. Imagine the word. When you read, oh sorry, when you learn a new word, when you come across a new vocabulary, do you actually imagine that? For example, suppose you are studying the word shabby, shabby, shabby. Do you know the meaning of it? Shabby person. When you describe a person, especially about his dress, shabbily dressed. What is it? Shabbily dressed. What is it?
Like
Yeah,
suits and ties and things.
not dressed properly according to different situations. Okay, shabbily, carelessly dressed. So when you learn this word, try to picturize this in your mind. Let me ask you one question. What is the language of our minds? What is the language?
Pictures.
Language of our mind is picture. When you picturize something, see, for example, can be applicable in your studies also. Something that's very difficult to learn, remember, you can picturize it. For example, when you are learning the characteristic of a character in a story, you have to picturize it. You picturize it with all the external features and all the about the behavior, how he or she behaves different situations. If you can picturize it, it will be there registered in your mind for all times to come. Okay, so when you learn the words too, you should imagine that word. For example, when you learn the word shabby, you remember, you picturize such a man or a woman shabbily dressed, not properly dressed or carelessly dressed. Think of that person. Understood?
Understood, sir.
Try to do this in future. Okay? And the next one is the fifth one, knowledge first. You should give preference to knowledge and don't chase words. See, don't be, over enthusiastic about the words. And when you go for the words, you may lose the knowledge. For example, when you read a paragraph, you may come across some new words. And what do you do actually? Do you look up that word in the dictionary then and there by stopping that what you are reading?
Sometimes I try to understand it from reading the sentence a couple of times
Hmm.
and, thinking of what it could mean.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah, that
it
means
could.
you will exercise your imaginative power, okay? Imagination, that's very good. Okay, that's the way you should do, okay? Correct way you should do. So you can guess the meaning, and sometimes in almost all situations you will get the correct meaning. Okay, and we can underline that word and come back, and you can look up that word or look up that word from the dictionary, and you can write it in a notebook. Okay, and when you write it in the notebook, I told you, you should write it's a parts of speech and the other related forms of. I'll tell you after some time. Okay, so knowledge should be given preference. Okay, and you should put the horse before the cart. What do you mean by that? Put the horse before the cart. When you put the horse Okay. Oh, sorry. Put the card before the post. Okay. When you do this, you cannot proceed. In the same way, when you give importance to the words, you will never get the meaning of certain things. You'll be always looking for the words, focusing on the words, and you will lose the message of the passage, whatever you are reading. Okay. And now, use it or lose it. Next point is use it or lose it. What do you mean by this? Use it
You
or lose it.
you should actually use the words you
Yeah,
learn.
yeah, good. Then otherwise, if you
Otherwise, you'll
don't use,
forget.
if you don't use it, you will lose it. Okay. Yeah, that's it. And the next one is sock your brain in English. Get your brain socked. We may say sometimes when you go for a picnic or sightseeing, get socked into the views or get socked into the panoramic view of the beautiful sights. In the same way, soak your brain in English. That means get give maximum exposure to English. Okay? Hello?
Hello, sir.
Yeah,
Yeah.
get the maximum exposure to your brain in English, to yourself.
Think in
Get
English.
exposed. Yeah, think in English is the best way. Do you do that?
Yeah,
Otherwise,
yeah, I do that. I do that.
otherwise, that's the best technique, and the words will flow into your mind directly, and you can directly say that. Otherwise, in between, what will come as an interruption? Your empty will come in between. MT means mother tongue. And you will be translating that thought. At first, thoughts come to your mind, and these thoughts will be, you will be translating it into your mother tongue first, and then again translating. Sorry, at first you say it in your mother tongue in your mind, and then you translate into English. It will take a long time. By that time, the listener may have escaped. Okay. Yeah. So soak your brain in English in whatever way you can get exposed to English. You should do it. Okay. Then no quick fix. That means what do you mean by no quick fix?
പെട്ടെന്നുള്ള
Yeah, yeah. You cannot fix a problem. Fix a problem. We say you cannot quick fix that. That means there is no shortcut. No shortcut. Okay. No shortcut for learning English. Is no in when we say fast, we don't say shortcut. A contracted form is shortcut. Say that. What is it? Tell me.
Shortcut.
The two sound you need to pronounce. Shortcut.
Shortcut.
Now also you have pronounced that tip sound. Shortcut. No, it is correct,
Shortcut.
but it's correct. But in when you say fast, the native speakers say shortcut. Shortcut.
shortcut.
Yeah.
Shortcut.
Yeah, now also two sound is okay. You will
Oh
get it.
no.
Shortcut, shortcut. Okay.
Shortcut.
For example, one word. Another one is one word. One word. One word. Not one word. It takes a long time. A lot of time. One word. The easiest way is see the English people. The native speakers are very lazy. They contract, make their speeches very, shorter and shorter. Okay, you can listen to all these things when you are exposed to the native speakers. So you go to some YouTube channels. Okay, but so many distractors are there. You should be very careful when you use YouTube, and you use it judiciously for your purposes only. Okay, will you do it?
Didn't quite get the question. What is that?
Pardon?
Didn't exactly get what you asked.
See, if you want to get all these things, how the native speakers speak by shortening everything, you should get exposed to, YouTube videos. YouTube videos. Then only you will understand how they speak. But you should use this YouTube very judiciously in the correct way.
Yeah,
Okay.
because you may go somewhere that you don't ever want to.
Okay, yeah. So the last point is, no, but not the least, is consistency and discipline. What do you mean by this? You shouldn't lose your interest. Okay, you should be on the track. Understood? You should be on the track all the way, all the time. Consistent in your efforts. Okay, you should be consistent in your effort. You must have heard about some players in cricket. For example, the captain Kohli is consistent. He has consistency in playing. That means he keeps a certain standard always. Okay, so you should be consistent in your efforts to learn vocabulary and whatever it is. Not you needn't limit it to vocabulary only in all things, and you should be very disciplined. Okay, you do it on a daily basis. Okay, have you understood all these points?
Yes, sir.
And the last one related to the retention, you should keep an index card. Keep an index card. Do you know what index card is?
No.
Okay, don't worry. I'll tell you. Here, can you see it? Can you see that on your screen? Can you see the presentation? PPT?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, index card. You should keep a notebook for this or different colorful cards you can take. What card? The paper, chart paper. Okay, you can use different colored chart paper and you write like you needn't draw a picture like this. If you want, if you are good at drawing, if you are a good artist, you can do this. By the way, let me ask you, what's the difference between ARTIST, artist, and ARTISTE, artist? Who is an artist? Be quick. Who is an artist?
A guy who does art.
One who is good at the painting or drawing pictures. Okay, and can you say he is a tabla artist? Can you say? But many of us, even the educated people, say he is a keyboard artist or he is a tabla artist. It's wrong. What's the correct word? What's the correct word for it? Artist. What is it?
Artist.
Spelling?
Artiste.
Spelling.
A or
ARTISTE.
TISTE.
Remember that word. Okay. Okay. Now let's look at this index cards. You make like this. You can write it down in your notebook right now. So first you write the word you want to learn, and next the pronunciation of it. For this, you have to learn the phonetic symbol, or even if you cannot do that, you try to learn it. It's very easy, and in the dictionaries you can see the correct pronunciation. Okay, and if you don't know, you try to learn it from your teachers. And parts of speech, I told you, parts of speech, whether this word is noun, adjective, or adverb like that. Okay. I'll give you one word. After telling about all these things, I'll give you example. And related words. Related words. Here you cannot say related words. Okay, Arun. It is related words. And sentence from the source, where you have come, where you got this word from. Maybe from a book or maybe from a newspaper. You should write that sentence here. And definition of this word. Okay, meaning of the word. You write it here. And example sentence. Example sentence can be selected from your dictionary. You write it here. And next one is synonym. Sometimes more words will be there. Sometimes you may get only one word, and sometimes you may not get, synonym or antonym. And the next is antonyms, and the last one is your own sentence. You make your own sentence, but when you make your own sentence, you try to write it by relating to the area of knowledge you like. For example, if you like films very much, you connect it to the films. Or if you like some sports items, for example, cricket, you write a sentence from that area. Okay, so this is how you have to keep index cards. So, are you 10th standard students? Hello?
Yes, sir.
In the 10th standard, in the first unit, such an activity is there.
I'm not a 10 standard, but I'm about to get 10 standard, like
Okay,
it's very
okay.
close.
Now, the students who are in 10th standard, in the unit first unit, such an activity is there. I don't know whether your teacher has given that activity. Okay, not but its name is not index cards. So this is how you should keep the record of the new words or vocabulary. Understood? Now let's take one word. You can, write it if you want. The word is S-A. You can write it now. S-A-L-U-B-R-I-O-U-S. Spell it.
Please repeat, sir.
S-A-L-U
S-A-L-U
B-R-I-O-U-S.
O-U-S.
No, don't say O, but O.
O-U-S.
O-U-S. Can you read that word? Don't read in the wrong way. Okay, it will be there in your mind. So correct. When you learn a new word, you read it in the correct way. It is salubrious. Salubrious.
Salubrious.
Okay, lu should be given stress. Salubrious.
Salubrious.
Okay, you write the word here in this index card, salubrious here. Pronunciation, if you can write the pronunciation by, if you will get it from the dictionary. Okay, dictionary or dictionary, two ways are there, but never say dictionary. No. Okay, from the dictionary you write it here. And parts of speech. What part of speech is this? What kind of word is this? Salubrious. Adjective. Okay, it describes some person, some places. Okay, and now comes related words. Related words are salubriously. It's adverb form, salubriously, and its noun form, salubriousness. Okay, and salubrity also, salubrity. And next comes a sentence from source, where you came across this word, maybe from a newspaper or a magazine or from some other places. You write it here, that same sentence. And definition. Definition is the meaning. Okay? Something that promotes health. Something that promotes, increases health. Understood? Especially it is used about air and place. We use this word for telling about the air and place, different places. Healthy
Suresh sir,
places. Follow. Ah,
Suresh, may I interrupt?
okay.
So we
Yeah,
have to
yeah.
wind. We
Yeah,
have to
yeah.
wind 11.
This is last one. Last one,
Yes.
1 or 2 minutes.
So
Okay.
before that, we have to elicit the pupils' feedbacks. Okay, sir.
Let me complete this very quickly. Okay. So
Okay.
definition is over. Example sentence from the diction we can take, and synonym. Synonym is wholesome or helpful. Synonym of salubrious is wholesome. The antonym is insalubrious. Insalubrious, not at all healthy. And you can write your own sentence here. Okay. So, because of the paucity of time, I want to tell more and more about this topic, but because of the paucity of time, I'm forced to wind up. And I invite some of you, to express your feelings, your feedback. You can tell me, tell us about, give us the feedback of this session. Thank you all for listening to me.
So I'm Deepak Karan, studying an NBC Nord, and your session was a really great one. It really did teach us a lot of new things, and learned quite some new words today. And I thank you for taking such an interactive session and teaching us all these things. Most of those were quite new to me, and I thank you so. But I wish we could talk more about these kind of things, but time is an obstruction right now. But it was really good. Your session was really good. I really did enjoy it. Thank you, sir. Thank you for taking this session.
Thank you, thank you. And by the way, your accent is very beautiful. Keep it up.
Thank you, sir. Of course.
Sir, my name is Gargi. Today's class was really amazing. We learned a lot. We learned how to study vocabulary, what is vocabulary, and so on and so forth. So, thank you for being with us. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Gangi. Thank you for your encouragement. Any others would like to give us a feedback? Don't hesitate. See, whenever you get a chance, you should come forward. Grab the chance, okay? We have been taking part in such programs for a long time, so you should make use of such opportunities. Otherwise, there wouldn't be any progress in your learning. So come forward, all of you. Not all of you, some of you. Hello?
Hello, sir. I'm
Don't
Pavitra
chicken away.
from
Don't chicken away. Come out. Yeah.
I'm Pavitra from Government in HSST Stadiamangalam.
Yeah.
Today's class was very amazing and wonderful.
Thank you.
I studied many things from you. Thank you, sir.
Welcome.
Sir, I'm Devta from GHSS Avenue.
Yeah.
So your class was very amazing. More than it was very interactive session. Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot for being your time with us.
You're welcome. Anyone else?
Okay, sir. Now let's go for the word of thanks and such things.
Okay.
Srinanda is there. Srinanda, over to Srinanda.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you for spending your valuable time with us. You have given us many information and I have enjoyed the session very well. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. It was a really great experience. Now I am inviting Nived S. Kumar from AUPS Udnur for delivering vote of thanks. Nived, please. Okay. Audible, sir?
Yeah, very much audible. Continue.
So can I start?
Sure, sure.
A language is an exact reflection of the character and growth of its speakers. Good morning to all. I feel indeed proud to be given this opportunity to propose the vote of thanks. I am Sureshkumar of 6th Standard, Udrio Central AUPS. I want to express my sincere gratitude to Professor Arul Lal sir, Assistant Professor, Government College, Mokeri, who spared precious time from his busy schedule to grace this Lab 27 program. Your words are so inspiring. Thank you so much, sir. I would further extend the hearty thanks to Sureshkumar sir for his informative and useful learning process. Thank you so much, sir, for sharing your deep knowledge with us. I
Thank
would
you.
I would especially thank you to Kadayakandi Narayanan sir who presided this program. Thank you so much, sir, for your unflattering support and guidance.
Thank
Let me
you.
now Let me now thank to Gargi Nanda who delivered a wonderful welcome speech and to Fatima who sang a soulful prayer song. Let me now thank to our anchor Sri Nanda who did a great job by her good performance and efforts. Finally, my deep sense of thanks goes to all the participants who were attended this program with great enthusiasm. And I would like to thank all who worked behind this program. Thank you each and everybody. Have a nice day.
Thank you, Niveed. Sir,
Yes, Srinanda, you may conclude.
okay, sir.
Dear friends, let's call it a day and disperse.